to the blue sofa. Today I want to have like one of those really real conversations and honest conversations. You know, that the kind of conversation that you might want to try to avoid, but I love those kinds of conversations because they are invitations, right? The invitation to look at resistance and to be really real about what does it actually take to get to consistent client flow and consistent sales, which should be your main goal in your business. I want to say when you're starting out, but also when you're growing, right? And scaling. So that has to be like our North Star, the thing we aim for in the background of our mind all the time. So I want to talk about why energy work, mindset work alone isn't enough to get true consistent sales and flow into your business. Because if it was enough, if you could just with manifestation, with energy work, create consistent clients and create consistent sales, then every entrepreneur would be fully booked, right? Every offer would sell out. Every launch would feel effortless. But that's not what we're seeing, and not for you. We're not seeing it for women online. And I did not see that either in my business, especially in the early years. And because I've been so in tune with all the inner work, emotional regulation, manifestation work, energy work, mindset work for such a long time, it was actually, I wouldn't say a shock, but it was kind of a wake-up call for me to understand that, well, 80-90% of my business was not about energy work. And I had to like really hone down on strategy, the 3 S's, you know, strategy, structure, and systems from the very beginning to see some results in my business. So today I want to unpack what actually happens behind the scene when we rely on energy work without a clear, grounded business structure. Let me be completely clear from the start of this podcast. Like, if you have been listening to my other podcasts, you know, I think leadership, like the way we lead ourselves, feminine leadership, energy work, is incredibly important. It is important to look at your mindset. It is important to readjust and realign your energy. I do it every single day. It does create a lot of momentum. It does collapse timelines. It makes you move into that version of yourself, that identity that actually do have the things that you want. And it does help you show up with clarity. It helps you show up aligned, regulated, emotionally, nervous system regulated, and in your power. But that alone is not enough to give you a consistent flow of clients and consistent sales. Energy amplifies. It amplifies what is. And if we're building a business, the strategy needs to be there, because otherwise we don't have anything to amplify. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about when you blend those two, when you blend energy work, and here also mindset work, obviously, working with your belief system, working with your identity, and working with your business strategy. The 3 S's, the strategy, the systems, and the structure. This is where the magic really happens when you are in business, right? So let's dive in. The first thing I want to talk about is something I see again and again. And that is for especially female entrepreneurs, purpose-driven female entrepreneurs, who believes that if they just journal more, they book a healer more, they do more meditations, more visualizations, more activations, they align more, then the clients are gonna start noticing them. Then they become magnetic and things are gonna happen on its own. And of course, yes, your energy does impact your business. It affects your confidence, it affects your clarity, it affects your leadership, your emotional availability, your ability to hold spaces, to hold visions. It makes your content way sharper, your message way clearer and cleaner, and your presence so much stronger. But that was never meant to replace the business strategy and the structure and the systems. So energetics are like the internal engine, and the strategy is like your vehicles, right? And you need both. So when I see a woman stuck, not having consistent clients and not having consistent sales, it is actually rarely because they didn't do the energy work. It's rarely because they didn't do the mindset shifts. It's because they built an energetic practice, but without a business system. And that's the gap I really want to address in this podcast. So let's talk about what energy really does do for your business, because it is extremely, extremely powerful. First of all, it does create momentum. It gets you moving when you're stuck. It gets you out of your mind, out of your own patterns once you're stuck in them. And it helps you move out of overwhelm, helps you move out of confusion, helps you move out of, feeling an imposter syndrome or feeling doubt about who you are and what you can achieve, which is amazing. It helps you jump timelines because it helps you tap into the future version of yourself who already knows the way and who knows how to lead the way, and helps you show up from there instead of repeating playing small, for example, or repeating patterns of struggle or hustle. And energy, aligned energy brings clarity. Suddenly you understand, what you're meant to say. It clears that mental fog. It helps you create offers that are so aligned and feel like a yes offer for you. And it helps you helps you to be in this creative energy. Energy work also removes resistance because it helps you to see clearly, helps you to see with awareness, and it helps you to take action because you can see the path more clearly and you understand, okay, this is why I'm stuck. Like this is the pattern that I'm repeating. This is the belief systems that I have that kept me in pressure instead of in presence, right? And so it helps you take action from that inspiration instead of, from the pressure and the limitedness, like you're feeling limited. And your energy and your aura, or the container that is you, that holds your energy, definitely determine how you show up. Like it determines your presence, and it shapes your presence, right? And people feel you, and people, they trust you faster because you are this confident energy, the grounded energy, and they remember you because they feel you. They can't, you just don't become that like noise that everybody else, that voice that everybody else is using on online, right? They remember you because they feel you and they feel your presence. So your energy is a catalyst. It is an activator, and it is the amplifier, right? And this is really key. This is really, really key. It amplifies you, but it also amplifies what you already have, right? But you can't amplify something that doesn't exist. So no matter how much energy work, if you don't have a message that is clear and your market understands, and you don't have a client attraction system that warms up your clients, potential clients, and you draw them in and warms them up, and you don't have a consistent visibility rhythm that fits you, that you can be in, and a way for your people to actually purchase from you consistently over and over again, your energy has nothing to amplify. And this is where women especially tend to think, oh, if this business structure, this business strategy isn't working, it's not about the business strategy, it's about me. I need to do more energy work, because they think they are the problem. What I see again and again, and I'm actually I've been thinking about this. So I see this in very conscious women. I see this in women who are, very ambitious, not because of ego, but because they have something to share. I see this in women who really want to create something new, who want to make a difference. And the thing is, they are not the problem. 90% of the time, it has nothing to do with energy work, because they already did the energy work. The problem is that they think they are the problem and they think they need more energy work, when what they need is a better business strategy and business structure and better business systems. So the structure is the problem. They are not the problem. But because they're trying to fix themselves instead of fixing the problem, it actually amplifies that belief that they are the problem. So what I have learned mentoring hundreds, thousands of women actually at this point, is that when you rely on energy alone, your business becomes unpredictable. And why? Because energy fluctuates, right? Some days you feel magnetic. Some days you are tired. Some days you're overwhelmed, distracted, emotional, and simply a human. And if you depend on you being perfectly aligned every day, you build a very fragile business. It is almost impossible to be consistent, right? In attracting clients, and it's almost impossible being consistent in actually getting sales in. So you need a structure in your business that is not amplified every single day by you, but is running more automated. And that you need a business that doesn't require you to be on all the time. That is not a feminine business system, because it's unsustainable, right? It is not sustainable for a feminine energy to be in. You know, that having to be in this fire energy all the time. And that is not a very sustainable path to consistent clients. Because consistent clients and consistent sales requires consistent visibility, consistent messaging, consistent offers, and consistent sales. And none of that can be built from energy alone. You need a system that can actually do that for you. You need a business strategy that supports you and supports your highest version of you, basically, and carries that message into the world. So let's talk about a structure, a business structure that creates stability, a system that can hold your energy instead of relying on it. And my 6 pillars, 6 pillars of my feminine business system is what it really takes. This is what you need to pair with your energy work, right? This is what creates consistent client flow, and this is what creates sales, consistent sales without hustle. The first pillar is clarity. Like, you need to be clear on who you are, who you help, and what you stand for. That crystal clear clarity is so that your message, the message that you draw people in with, actually lands instantly with not everybody, but the right person, the person you are here to help. And you need that clarity, and you need to make that decision in your business. That is a strategic decision in your business, not something like, this is what I feel like today. It has to be a solid pillar in your business. It is one of the main foundational pillars when it comes to this feminine business system. That is like the clarity on what I call the golden spot. Your message, your muse, and your marketing, right? So who are you helping? Who are you helping? What is the market you are helping in? And what is your message in the market? Has to be consistent, and it has to work. And when I say it has to work, what I actually mean is, and this is where things can get a little bit tough, this is not something you nail overnight. This is a strategic, logical decision that is, of course, is founded within you and your heart and what you want to bring to the world, what you want to amplify out into the world. But this is a logical business decision on the 3 M's in the golden spot, right? What's the market, who's the person, and what is the message that is actually going to attract the right people. Number 2 is magnetic messaging. And that is like understanding that the message in your business has to solve a real problem, not like vague transformational terms. The messaging has to position you as a solution to a real problem that your solar line clients, the clients that are looking for you and what you have to offer, actually are looking for. And that means research. Like again, this is a logical decision. This is a decision you can make by looking at numbers, basically. A decision you can make by researching the market and understand a business decision. Understand, okay, what is a magnetic message for this specific market? The third one is visibility. That actually attracts clients. Not just visibility for followers on Instagram, not visibility for likes, not visibility for any kind of vanity metrics, but visibility actually attracts the right people. Attracts the person that you want to serve in your business. Not just random posting or showing off your dogs and cats. Has to be something that really display your authority and gives your people what is called a freebie or a lead magnet. It's kind of a free gift that you give to attract them into your email list. So here we are looking at creating systems, clear, simple content systems that warms up your audience, warms up your solar line clients and attract them into your business, because that's gonna be the whole foundation of your sales. So client attraction is a major pillar. And again, this is a business decision. It is not like intuitively, I want to do this. It is a clear business decision. It's a clear business structure and a clear business system that you need to develop in your business to create visibility that actually draw in the right people. The next thing is your sales flow. I say soulful selling because sales that feels natural, honest, and grounded is incredibly important. And understanding how do I need to sell my offers. And instead of trying to copy everybody else's sales strategy, like you need to educate yourself. That's like my best recommendation is to educate yourself in, if you have a specific kind of offer, what is the best feminine sales funnel for this? Like what is the channel to sell, like how to sell step by step this specific offer, and how to do it in a way that is in integrity. And that means no bro marketing, not hustling, over promising anything, but being really real about what can they expect, what is the transformation. Because when you're doing that, you're being clear about it and you understand sales, you understand, okay, what is the nature of a sale? You can build that into a system in your business to get consistency. Which leads me to the next thing, and that is offers. Like irresistible offers. Offers that people actually want. People are actually craving. And not just everybody, the people that are your people. Again, it is a solid pillar, has to be a solid pillar in your business. And here again, it's not just about what you want to create. Like, of course, that is the starter point. But actually, the real secret to irresistible offers is positioning. Positioning is how we communicate our offers. And to do that in a way that actually gives you sales and actually make your offer irresistible, you need to understand the market you're in and you need to understand the person you're selling to. That means, again, this is actually not an intuitive decision. This is market research. This is understanding your business, understanding your ideal solar line client and what they need and how you can solve that with an offer. And the really great news is that this is a learnable skill. It's something that is actually easy to learn, but it's also a skill set that we need to acquire and we need to build and strengthen in our business, right? The last pillar, the sixth pillar, is delivery. And that is how we want to deliver our products. Delivery is extremely important in your business, and it has to be structurized in a way that doesn't burn you out. And that's because different kind of products, offers, have different ways to be delivered. So think about it in this way. If you have an online course, you want to deliver that in a way where people actually see results without you being involved in the transformational process, because an online product and the way we deliver that, the nature of that, means that it is cheaper, right? It's not so costly for us to develop and deliver as, for example, a high-end coaching program. The way we deliver a high-end coaching program is very different than the way we deliver an online course. And we have to make decisions and create systems for our offers, for our products, so it honors the transformation and it honors our energy. A very, very good example is, for example, if you are an extroverted fire person, you love being with other people, you love the conversations you have with your clients, and it gives you a lot of energy. Deliverability would need to be something that honors that. So instead of relying your full business on online courses, for example, it would be much more suitable for you to rely your deliverability on live calls, group calls, could be like even challenges you do together, like that fire energy. You want to bring that into your deliverability and actually build that into your business. That's going to make a business that you want to show up in, and that's going to create a business that you thrive in. And the more you thrive in it, the better the structure is, right? That's like such a good indicator. If you thrive, the structure is good, right? On the other hand, if you are very introverted, but you want to impact millions of people, thousands of people, then it would be very difficult for you to honor that and honor your energy if you had to be on Zoom calls every single day, right? So that means that the way you deliver your transformation has to look at a different way. It could be memberships, could be online courses, or it could be high-end group programs without live calls or with fewer live calls on. So all of that is something you need to consider, because it is a solid and important, has to be a solid, and it is an important pillar in your foundation of your business. And it's something that we don't consider a lot because we're so consumed with client flow and client cash flow, selling. So we forget, okay, there's also deliverability, right? So I'm bringing that in because it is extremely important, because otherwise you're going to hold yourself back, right? You're going to hold yourself back in your visibility, in your sales, if you somehow know inside of you that structure is not something my energy wants to amplify, right? So when these 6 pieces, these 6 pillars comes together, that's where you create consistent client flow and consistent sales together, right? And this is where, combined with energy work, you're gonna feel unstoppable. Not because you are perfectly aligned, but because your business no longer collapses every time your energy dips, and you get real results in your business because you have the business structure that actually is built and designed to creating consistent client flow and consistent sales. So this is the truth, or this is like the reframe that I really would invite you to take in and wake up to every single day. Your energy creates momentum, but your business structure and the decisions you made, the CEO decisions, like the business decision you made in all of these pillars, that's what creates consistency, and that's actually what you need to build. Again, like mindset, you need to tap into that. It's the soulful CEO mindset, right? And it's also a skill set you need to acquire, and that is so important, just as important, 50-50, just as important as your energy, right? Together, they create consistent growth. And not only that, they create scalable growth, which is so important. So energy work makes you feel unstoppable, which is so important. Your structure is what makes your business work. These 6 pillars of the feminine business system is what makes your business work. So it's not either or, it is both and. And this is why so many female entrepreneurs who are spiritually, emotionally, intuitively gifted struggles with consistent clients. It's not because they're not aligned. It's not because what they do is not worth anything. And it's not because they are not worthy. But it's because they don't have a system. They don't have a business system that supports the alignment that they already have. And once you build this structure underneath your energy, your business is going to explode. over time, right? Not like from one day to another, but as this structure is built and grounded and works, your business will work. So if you're feeling like, I'm doing all the energetic things, but I still feel blocked, I don't have consistent clients, I don't see any consistent income, I just want you to know there's nothing wrong with you. And no, this is not a block. It is not something that needs to be fixed inside of you. You need your business system to work. You need these 6 pillars to work, and you need to build them. You need to start building. You need to like get your hands dirty, get into the clothes that is allowed to be a little bit dirty. And then you need to start building this real structure that supports consistent client flow. And if this is where you are in your business right now, if you're looking for consistent client flow, you're looking for consistent sales, I have a free masterclass for you. And it is actually like my feminine business system Rising Star. That's like, I share everything about it. And it is just below here somewhere. You can opt in, it's completely free. And if you want to look at a real life example, like how does this actually look like when all these 6 pillars are in place, I would recommend a next listen for you. And that is my client Augusta, because she built a 50K online business in just 4 months by using this exact feminine business system. So I have linked Aligned Growth, how Augusta built a 50K online business in 4 months. I have linked that below too for you to listen to at your convenience. It's a really nice case study of her growth period when she was part of Rising Star. So thank you so much for listening. I hope this brings some clarity into you and also gives you this permission to maybe say, you know what, I did the work. I did the energy work. I'm worthy. I'm ready. And I'm ready to start building, and allow yourself to dive head into what does it look like for you to build a business structure that gives you consistency in your sales, in your clients. So as always, if you like this one, then give it a review and jump on Instagram, find me and tell me what you like the most. And I mean, also as always, I'm here to help empower you to build a business and scale a business that feels like you, with an energy that supports you and a structure that actually gives you the results that you really want. So this is all for today. I want to say thank you again for listening and see you in the next episode.